Before anything else happens, you know I'm here too now, don't you? I just thought I could start it without Modwain. I mean, he'll be here shortly, but that way I'm sure I'm in here this time.
Yes, well, I'm sorry I did not bring you along last time, but you are more than welcome to come this time. And welcome to all you beautiful YouTube viewers. I hope today I have something nice for you. I'm going to talk about a little video I've seen from Cat Black. And I've seen her before, and I've always said, yeah, I really gotta do something with her. Today, I will. I hope you will enjoy it. And remember, criticism, as always, is more than welcome.
Hey guys, it's Kat. It's time for your weekly dose of truth. Today I'm still drinking Theraflu as per usual. If you guys want me to answer your question, please send a video Snapchat to my Snapchat, Cat1, all in word. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please feel free to subscribe so you get Truth every single week right here on this channel. Anyway, let's jump into today's video question. I can pull it up. I just got my iPad for some reason it is the most obnoxious thing that I hear recently. Okay, here we go.
Oh wow, is she always talking that fast? That's amazing. How can anyone understand her?
Nah, I just sped up her intro a bit. Let's just go on.
Hi Kat, my name's Miranda. I'm 17 and I'm biracial. I'm half Latina and half white, and I have a lot of issues with my dad who's white accepting that.
I don't get this anymore. Biracial? What the fuck is biracial?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, but it's when your father and your mother are both of a different ethnicity. Not of a different race, obviously, because there's only one race.
Okay, so what's biracial then? I mean, having parents that are of different ethnicities. But she says that her mother is Latina and her father is white. Aren't Latinas considered white too? I'm flabbergasted.
They are, but you can't blame victimhood if you're not a victim, so you have to make something up, right?
My dad is a conservative guy and he kind of invalidates anything that I say concerning my own dealings with oppression because I'm white.
Could it be your father invalidates everything you say about dealing with oppression because, in his point of view, you are wrong?
Is this one of these social justice warrior thingies that everything has to be accepted the way they look at it? Because if it's not, then they're not being accepted and everyone else is wrong, even if it's your dad.
It does seem that way, yes.
Well, why can't we just ignore these people then? I mean, it's just being silly.
No, I don't think ignoring them is a good idea. But pointing it out, that might work. At least I hope so. That's what I'm trying to do.
I know amongst the feminist community, if you're a person of color, even half so, you're still a person of color, but he really struggles with that, and so do I guess.
See, this is what I mean. Even if you're only partially a person of color, you're still a person of color, therefore you can claim being a person of color. This is intersectional feminism at its core. Look at me, look at how much of a victim I am. I'm even worse of a victim now because my father doesn't agree with the fact that I'm a victim.
But I mean, he married her mother, so either he doesn't care that she's a person of colour, or he doesn't see that she's a person of colour. But in any way, he doesn't care about the whole being a victim thing, it seems.
Yep, and that is making her feel bad, because her father doesn't understand why she is feeling oppressed by her father, apparently. And her father just like, what are you talking about? It doesn't make sense. And therefore, she feels oppressed even more.
So this is what feminism is doing to our kids now, is it?
Yeah, just like every other religion, really. You want to indoctrinate the kids, because once you've indoctrinated the kids, you will have indoctrinated the grown-ups of the future. And that's where they're going with this.
It's scary to me, though.
It should be scary to everyone, to be honest.
And I guess it just comes down to identity, that I'm too white for the Latino kids and too Latino for the white kids, and it's just like my balance between personal life and my family.
And this is the problem with identity politics. If you don't fit the identity, you're in a tough spot.
How is she less of a human being, though?
Well, she isn't, but that's not the point. She's not white enough to consider herself white, and she's not black enough to consider herself black. So in her world, she doesn't fit in, because she doesn't have an identity that suits her according to her.
And I'm not really sure how to balance that because I feel very whitewashed, but I also feel like I'm too much for white people. And I'm just not really sure how to go about my own experiences, whether it's talking to my dad or just living through them, because I feel like my position isn't really valid.
How's about you being you for a change, instead of looking what other people think you should be?
I feel like being biracial is like kind of throwing me off track, I guess. I don't really know. If you have any advice, that'd be fantastic. I love your videos. Thank you.
All right, so I feel like I get questions like this all the time. And I want to first start out by saying that, to my knowledge, I'm just regular old black.
So first we have this 70-year-old kid talking about how she's biracial and how that's a problem. And then the first thing she answers is, well, I'm all black.
I guess being black scores higher on the, wow, how do you call it, Oppression Olympics?
That must be it then. It really must be, because it doesn't make any sense.
Just regular old, beautiful blackness. And I say that because I'm adopted, so maybe I got a little Cherokee up in there, maybe a little bit of Indian, you know, I do have good hair, so who knows. Just kidding.
Is that an American thing? I mean, whatever you are, you always have a little bit of Native American in you.
Yeah, I guess so. And of course she doesn't know because she's adopted. Apparently that's what she said. But she thinks she's Native American because she has such lovely hair. But of course she's only joking because her hair is weave, which she buys at wherever you buy weave.
Right, I have 4C hair, good hair. Anyway, so I never really know how to answer these questions because I'm not mixed, or biracial. I don't have that perspective or experience of like not feeling like I fit here or there. I'm regular old black. So for me, I don't think I'm always going to give the best perspective, but I do know that I have quite a large biracial, biracial, multiracial, whatever. I don't know what the PC term is. Some people say that mixed is problematic. Some people say that biracial is problematic. Whatever. Multicultural, beautiful human being of the country.
Well, credit where credit is due, Cat Black. On this, I can only say I agree with you. It doesn't matter how you call it. You're just beautiful people. We all are.
We all are? Are you sure? Because I've seen some videos out there of some people. Oof.
Well, yeah, there are some bad folks out there and some people who are pretty ugly because of the behavior they have. True that, but on average, let's say on average.
Honestly, I'll just go with what popped out of my mind. I always feel so heartbroken when I get messages from people who are biracial and their parent is white and they don't support conversations about people of color. I mean, that always bothers me because that's actually fairly common. When I get these messages from people who are mixed, I always feel terrible because there's no way that you're not going to grow up and resent your white parent for not giving you that perspective, you know, like looking at this person that sent me this message, like you're very clearly not, you're very clearly a person of color. Like, no disrespect. I know some people feel really offended when they hear that they're not white or they don't look white.
And there's that credit gone again. Well done, Cat Black. Seriously, white people are the problem. So if you're a child of a mixed race couple, which is mixed ethnicity, but okay, let's let that slide, then you always have a problem with the white parent. Not that he loves you, or she, because sometimes a woman can be white, let's be honest, it doesn't happen often apparently. But yeah, there's a problem because you feel you're oppressed and your white parent loves you anyway and thinks you're being silly. And this is a huge issue, right?
Now, maybe she didn't mean it like that. I mean, it's always someone's fault, and why not just blame the white person? That's easy enough. It doesn't have to be true or anything like that.
Can you imagine though, you go to a person and ask for advice and the first thing she says is, well, but yeah, your dad is white, therefore he's the problem.
Yeah, no, don't make no sense, I know that, but what are you gonna do? Stupid will be stupid, and apparently these people are stupid.
But you're very clearly a person of color, and that's going to be a part of your life. And I think that a white parent of a child of color needs to be aware of that. They need to be aware of the fact that they're sending their child out into a world that is not We Are the World, where, post-racial, a world that has history where racism exists and they will experience it. That's just how shit is. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be this person who raises your kid with like this rosy view of the world where they're going to be, because they're going to go out into the world, they're going to experience racism, and then they're not going to know how to deal with it because you taught them that everything was fine. You taught them that racism no longer exists. You taught them that if they talk about racism, they're the ones being the racist. And to me, that's always really messed up, because reality is that as a person of color, you're going to be seen a certain way. You're going to be treated a certain way. That's not going to change simply because you have a white parent. I think what gets me too is that some white parents really think that their whiteness is going to save their child, that they're going to be able to barge in and say, oh no, but I'm white, and somehow that's going to save their kid from getting shot or getting hurt or experiencing racism, and that's just not real. You know, I wish that there was like a requirement where if you're gonna have a child of color, you've got to take a couple of classes, because I've heard so many terrible stories of people who raise their kids, and like I've heard stories of people who, you know, the father leaves or the mother leaves or something, and then they've got to sit there, you know, having their primary parent be a white person who is angry at their ex, you know, wife or partner or whatever. And they're flinging racial slurs and then turning to their kid and saying, oh no, but you're part of me. You're not a nigger, you're part of me.
Yeah, I already had the feeling that when she was talking to us about mixed ethnicity children, she was talking to us about black and any other ethnicity. She wasn't talking about white and Latina, even though the person asking the question is Latina, which is considered white by most people, so fuck that. No, she's talking about the racial thing between ethnicity black and ethnicity non-black. And then when one of the parents leaves, the kid has a problem. Yeah, but in this situation, the parents are both still there. They're both loving their daughter. They just don't see that racial divide that you keep pushing into it. That people like you keep pushing into it. You want to end racism? Stop being a racist.
As though the people outside of that situation are going to see it that way. It's just not very realistic. You know, as far as like what side of you to own, you know, if you're mixed, you're both. You know, you can explore, you know, celebrate both. I don't think that there's a problem with you being proud of your whiteness and also your. I mean, you can be. I mean, a lot of Latinx people are white, but you can be proud of both cultures.
Yes, you can be proud of both cultures, both of them, of course, being white.
Now, don't get angry. She's just one person.
Yeah, but people like this are creating the racial tension. They're not trying to make it less. They're trying to make it more so that people will hear them more, so that they can create more tension. People like this, people like Franny Ramsey, it's just... Hell, they totally ignore the fact that when you're biracial, or not biracial, by ethnicity, being half white, half black is actually a death sentence in certain black communities.
You're a white guy that moves his black wife and biracial daughter into a black neighborhood. You send your daughter to a black school. For months and months, maybe longer, she says she's not safe. She said she's being bullied. She says she worries about getting in fights. She says she worries about people attacking her, stabbing her. You ignore it. And now you cry crocodile tears in front of the TV cameras. If I had my way, you'd be crying those crocodile tears in front of a judge as he sentences you to prison for child abuse or even complicity in this child's suicide.
I really love you a lot, Dad. I'm just tired of being bullied.
A daughter's last words to her father before taking her own life last Wednesday.
I tried telling you something bad would happen, but nobody ever wanted to believe me. She said it several times.
Shania Seacrest was a ninth grader at William Penn High School in York. Her dad said she battled depression and was bullied at school.
But every single day she was coming home from school saying, Daddy, 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 I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared I'm going to get jumped, I'm scared I'm going to get stabbed.
Yeah, but shit like this happens to, well, white kids too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, just not as often. The thing is that white kids can be pests to each other too, but singling someone out because they are of mixed descendants, no, that doesn't seem to happen that often. That's more something that happens within the black community.
You be proud. There's no problem with you engaging in and celebrating both. You know what I mean? I'll be real and say that I don't think that you're someone who is going to be you're probably, yes, the whole whitewash thing is going to be an issue, but at least for my, I personally kind of dealt with that a little bit of, feeling like black people were going to reject me because of how whitewashed I was. But in reality, I think they're going to be more willing to welcome you than white people. Real talk. They're going to be way more willing to welcome you than white people.
You call that real talk, do you? They're more likely to allow you in and accept you if you disown your white heritage. If not, well, fuck you. You're going to be dead. Simple as that.
That seems a little bit harsh. Are you sure on that? Because they wouldn't kill you just like that, would they?
Unfortunately, there are a few examples of mixed race girls mostly dying or being killed even because of the fact that they are mixed race. And it's not because their parents don't love them. I mean, just look it up yourself. Sahara Morer, just one name. A black girl who was, she's also a white girl, obviously. But yeah, part of her was black and she wanted to connect with her black roots, which got her killed.
That sounds terrible, but way more willing. It may seem like there are more eager. If you're in an area where there aren't that many people of color and there are more white people, it's going to seem artificially like white people are way more willing to accept and embrace you. But that's not necessarily true. In my experience, when it comes to people of color banding together, they got your back more unconditionally than a lot of white people ever will.
Yeah, they'll have your back, with meat hooks more like. If you want to be accepted in whatever community you're in, you first have to accept yourself. Now, being half Latina, half white doesn't make you an outcast. I know, because I am. But that doesn't matter, because nobody around me seems to care about that. And you know why no one around me seems to care about that? Because I don't care about that. But if it's your main point, then yes, that's going to be your problem, because you make it your main point.
I didn't know you were half Latina. Are you sure?
I'm obviously not half Latina. I'm half Latino because, well, gender and all that.
I'm not saying all white people, but I'm saying a lot of white people ever will. So don't think that because you live in a certain situation where, maybe these, the few Latinx people around you are not treating you in the best way, that they're just so terrible and oh my gosh, I'm just never going to be able to get along. Because you probably will. You're going to go to college, you're going to grow, and you're going to, leave your town, and you're going to have experiences where you're going to find people that are like you, who share commonality with you, and you're probably going to find more kinship with them than you will the average white person, and that's okay.
This is pissing me off though, because Kat, you're missing the point. She already lives in a area or a community or a family that does accept her for who she is. She is the one not accepting that. She is the one that feels that her being Latina should mean more than it does. And maybe it does mean more, but not in the way she wants it to. And therefore she has a problem with it because her father doesn't understand that she is Latina. He is married to a Latina. So at least there should be another Latina woman there. But no, there's no acceptance for her there. But she'll get acceptance somewhere else. Yeah, maybe. But she needs to start realizing who she is. She needs to accept herself. She isn't a mixed race. She is a person. I'm going to stop to respond to the rest of her video, to be honest, because she keeps blabbering on about how it's, obvious that there are more white people will accepting her than people of color, because there are more white people, and the white people narrative is that, blah, 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 therefore you need to like us. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit, Kat. Really. Yes, there will be white people accepting her. Yes, there will be people of color accepting her. Yes, there will be white people not accepting her. Yes, there will be people of color not accepting her. This is not a racial thing. Stop making it a fucking racial thing. Bloody hell. My only advice to the girl is try to talk to your parents. Try to figure out what they think. Your identity is not half Latina. Your identity is who you are, not where part of your ethnicity comes from. Try to be the best of both worlds for a change. But yeah, bullshit advice like this really pisses me off. I mean, you close it off, mate. I'm gone.
Well, the original video wasn't much longer anyway, so we may as well call it quits here. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, and the criticism thing, you know, always welcome and all that. I'm not good at this. Why did you leave me to do this? Yeah, goodbye all. See you all next time, I think, and be good, and bye-bye, and bye-bye, bye-bye.